Who is it? It's Ice Cube come to pay a little visit to you. I was listening to
WAP?
No, but I have listened to that a bunch of times, though. Not a bunch of times, but a couple of times. It's a good song.
All day, every day.
it's just a straight up good song.
WAP City.
WAP City, bitch. WAP City, bitch. Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's been done to death. The people criticizing it and the people defending it. It's a. I mean, the biggest point that I've seen a lot of people making is like, I mean, are we really pretending that like this is the dirtiest rap song you've ever heard? It's not even the dirtiest rap song from a female rapper, let alone rap, period.
No.
I'd have to go with My Neck, My Back.
Of course, it's a classic. I
think that's the one.
Still treasure the video of you showing that to your mom.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna get her with this one. I've been waiting for the perfect opportunity because the other day I was walking around the house going, "There's some whores in this house," and she's like, "What song is that?" And I'm like, "You don't want to know."
You don't know.
Yeah. So I'm gonna catch her with this one.
That'll be good.
It's gonna be classic.
Sunday morning.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Oh my God. Do you know how upset she would get?
There's the Lord in this house. There's no Lord.
There's no Lord in this house. All right. Let's get into these brewskis, my friend. Let's
Okay.
I'm thirsty and I want to crack these bitches open. So, do you want to give us a little taste of what you're drinking on?
Sure. Well, if you follow our Instagram, you're going to be familiar with this bad boy. You should be. I'm just saying you should be. My friend here, the Sideward Cider. Now, with strawberry. Such a good idea. I mean, it makes total sense. I have had this, as you may know, but I had another left, so I figured, why not?
All right.
Yeah.
I grabbed the New Belgium Voodoo Ranger 1985 IPA. So their Voodoo Ranger has become almost their flagship IPA brand or sub brand, I guess. Because at first I thought the Voodoo Ranger thing was like a one-off, and then now I just see more and more like, here's the Voodoo Ranger this and the Voodoo Ranger that, and this is the Fruity Voodoo Ranger, and this is like, so it seems to me that they hit on something and now they're just going to beat that into the dirt, which more power to them. I mean, we've talked about it before, the Voodoo Ranger branding itself, like that's fucking dope. That's just a dope piece of art.
Yeah.
So,
and they've been good so far. We've had a few of them on the show. So.
Yeah. So hopefully they continue to streak.
Yeah.
Let's find out. My name is Marco Dupa. And that guy right there, I got to remember that it's opposite, is Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
What's up, Brewskis? This
is the One Beer In Podcast.
Yeah.
To be found by someone to save you when you're down.
We'll coos it up.
Yes, I'm bored when it's bright out. So bored when it's bright out. 4 to 5 a.m. Takes me to a place where I fit in.
It's made with mango flavor and spice. That's the differentiating. I don't know why it's called the 1985, man. The box is downstairs.
There might be a cold read on there.
It's not on the can itself. It has to be on the box. I know. You got to put the cold read on the can.
Yeah.
So, back again. Remote cast, still going strong.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm starting to get used to it.
I know. I wasn't looking forward to that day, but here we are. This has become the new normal.
The new normal.
Ugh.
Yeah, I hate the phrase. So, I mean, you know, it's been good to have the content on the YouTube page. So no complaints there. If you
Sounds
don't
good.
already, like, share, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel, because regardless of whatever happens, we are going to continue posting content on the YouTube page. So definitely subscribe to the page. Hopefully when at least we can get back into the studio, you know, we'll be filling that baby up with content.
Yeah, I mean,
Content.
even if not full shows, we can put some fun stuff on there.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you know.
Yeah. So
So
we'll be putting content on there. So be ready. Be ready. Speaking of
beer
content,
ready.
speaking of content on a YouTube page, you and I both are big fans of the Bon Appetit Test Kitchen and the Bon Appetit YouTube channel as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've been living under a rock, I'll just give you the spark notes of this. There has been, as that article said, a reckoning at the Bon Appetit Test Kitchen, where apparently, it started with their editor-in-chief, who he posted some Instagram post. Maybe we did talk about that. We talked about him.
Talk about that. Yeah.
So I guess So I guess you go back and listen to that episode. Short version is he's fucking racist. He posts some racist shit on his Instagram page. They caught him, and you know what happens after that. The same old song and dance. But then that opened Pandora's box as to the apparent business practices of Condé Nast and Bon Appetit as a whole, as it pertains to their on-screen talents of color, if you will.
Yeah.
So basically, they're getting underpaid and overworked. They're used as one of them put it, props.
They're
props.
tokenized, right?
Yeah.
And
I
think
go ahead.
it was the story was kind of broken by Sola, wasn't it?
Sola was, she was the first one who posted about the pay disparity, and I mean the whole thing just blew up from there, where she was like, not only is Rappaport, which by the way, I said he sucked. I just want to make sure everybody knows.
Yeah.
From the jump, I said he sucked, and I was proven right. Anyway, she said that it doesn't the controversy and the mistreatment doesn't start or end with Rappaport. It's been a long time coming, and this needed to get out. And she posts about that, and then just an avalanche of information that comes out about this. Then you get all of the white talent who are like, I stand behind you, and all this bullshit. And it's every week there's a new revelation.
Yeah.
To kind of catch everybody up, I guess, to the current, there's a total of 13 on-screen talent that they've used in these BA Test Kitchen things. Now, if you never watched the BA Test Kitchen, it sucks that this is where it is now, because before, it was just, it's upsetting to me now that I'm thinking about it more.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. It was like a Sesame Street of entertaining foodies and chefs and all the stuff that we love, and they all had their unique like little niches in there. Now it's all ruined because apparently behind the scenes it wasn't so fun. Yeah, which sucks.
It was like this beacon of positivity. Everyone seemed like they were having fun. They're filming in this high rise in New York City, and it's always seems to be daytime when they're filming, and it's just bright, and everyone's walking in. It's like this Marvel Cinematic Universe of chefs, and they're popping in and out of each other's videos. And it was just, every single video, I was just like, dude, I could watch this channel for hours. And I did.
Yeah.
We
both did.
Yeah. I'd get home from work and, you know, I'd watch some other stuff. Dude, it was like, it's more, the more and more I think about it, I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Even that fleeting positivity, that's gone.
It's gone now.
That's gone.
When we could use it the most.
Yeah. This would be the most apropos time to have just a gang of positive, nice people supporting each other. And they can't even do that. They can't even do that. So there was 13 on-air talent. The ones who left: Priya Krishna, Rick Martinez, Sola El Maley. I apologize. I butchered that last name. I wasn't ready to pronounce that last name. Gabby, Melian. Mm-hmm. Those are the ones who. Oh, and Molly. Molly now has left, and Carla. So, I mean, if you haven't watched the channel, those names don't really mean anything to you. But if you have, you understand how much of it. That's basically almost all of their on-air talent that was people of color.
Yeah.
Except for one person, basically, who hasn't left yet, who is a person of color. The rest of the people who are still there are all white people. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, the ones who haven't left, okay. I feel like I'm kind of rambling and I'm kind of all over the place. Let me bring
it's an emotional time. I understand.
So I don't know about you. I don't know if Claire kind of overtook Brad as your favorite. I'm not sure. Brad is still maintained. He's still my guy. He's still the top for me.
For me, before all this stuff, you know, in a vacuum, they were, to your MCU analogy, they were the Tony Stark to the Captain America. And it's hard for me to pick one over the other, is what I'm trying to say, because they were just perfect yin and yang to each other.
Makes sense. So this whole thing it's been a very good parallel to everything that's going on right now in society, where as Americans, we are reckoning with our racist past. Finally, people are finally
and present.
And present, yeah, definitely. And you're seeing how uncomfortable it's making everybody, and you're just watching this sea change, and this is pretty indicative. This is on a micro level what's going on in American society right now. Mm-hmm. Is people of color finally having a voice and wanting to be treated as equals, and being powerful enough, talented enough, and worth enough to go, if you're not going to pay me what I'm worth, then I'm leaving. And I have the power to do so now. I don't have to stay here. And they, a couple of them exercise just that. And then you see, the reason I'm kind of beating around the bush is it's disappointing to see like Brad and Claire and the other white talent not be more vocal about what's going on. You can kind of feel that they're going, please just let this blow over. I do not want to lose that cash flow. I do not want to lose that star. I do not want to not record on YouTube. I do not want to not be a YouTube star. I mean, Brad was the test kitchen manager, and the videos were so popular that they were like, can you just be on-air talent from now on? That's why Gabby's I don't know if she's still the test, because that's the other thing. They didn't leave. Some of them didn't leave Bon Appetit. They left the YouTube channel, Bon Appetit Video, which is apparently a completely different thing as far as like who runs it. Yeah, Bon Appetit, the magazine, is something else.
Yeah, I think it's Condé Nast Entertainment that runs the video portion of it, which is, I guess, a separate entity from regular Condé Nast that just does the print portion of it.
Yeah.
So
they, So a lot of them have kept their jobs or are staying on as like freelance editors and stuff like that, which is cool. You know, they keep their jobs and everything, but I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just, and I didn't even fucking bring up Delaney. So oh God, you guys need to just go to the Bon Appetit YouTube channel, watch like 5 videos, watch the most recent from each one of them, Delaney's videos, Claire, Brad, Carla, Chris, all of them. Just go down, get a feel for what we're talking about, what you're missing, what society's missing. Yeah, and it gets sad with this. But Delaney is a special case because Alex Delaney, he kind of put a target on his own back because he jumped out in front of this thing and was very vocal about the Black Lives Matter movement, very vocal about the pay disparity, very vocal about not recording any more Bon Appetit videos until his coworkers get paid at the same rates. And, that's the other thing. I think it was Priya who said in her statement that behind the scenes, they're not as vocal about their support of the POC chefs as the white chefs made it seem like on their social media pages. So I don't know.
Right.
She obviously didn't name any names, but there's only a handful of them left.
That who could it be? Right. The
Right.
people online have already narrowed that down.
Yeah.
That pretty small list is already narrow enough. So.
Basically. So it's like, it's just it's really disappointing to see because, nobody told them to jump out in front of this thing, put their careers on the line to be supportive of their POC coworkers, and then to turn around and not, to not actually do anything, to not actually put any work in. It's like you brought that on yourself. You're out here, super troopering for.
Yeah, all lip service.
Yeah. With Delaney, we find out that seemed like old boy was, I guess, compensating for a very dark past. Suffice to say that he was a full-on edgelord in high school and in college, and I guess in his first couple of years at Bon Appetit. Like, I guess he had a Reddit, or he was on Reddit, just being a full-on shithead on there.
Yep.
And then they found his old posts, and your boy got chopped up. Internet took him, fucking chopped him up. So he had to go on his Instagram and apologize, and I'm sincerely sorry, and I know words hurt.
He I read that entire thing. It's like 10 pages long.
I read it.
He went about it the wrong way. He did it the exact wrong way, where he started off saying all the right things. Yeah, I'm so sorry about the things I said in my past. I know that my apology doesn't need to be accepted by you, but I've changed and I'm a different person now, and I hope to continue to evolve as a human to be better, and yada yada yada. Right. Fine. All well and good. Right. That sounds great. All the fan favorites of the apology tour.
Right.
But then he goes into this thing about how much he was not paid and how he worked so hard to get to the place that he is right now.
Yeah.
You don't add that, you don't tack that on and make that the majority of your apology tour speech.
Yeah.
It was at least half of it. And like, as I kept reading, I kept going, stop, please stop. Because he was saying it essentially like, people are saying online that, I got to where I am just by, somebody threw me a contract to be on video.
Yeah.
That's not true. I worked my ass off, yada, yada. All well and good. Fine. Understandable that you want to get that message out. Don't do it on your apology.
Yeah.
Don't do it there. It's not appropriate. It makes it seem like you're trying to boast and like to try to cover your own ass more than actually ask for people to forgive you for what you've done.
When the thing is, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I was just gonna say, it completely overshadows anything good he said in the beginning of that statement.
Yeah.
That's what I walked away remembering more than anything else, was Alex Delaney was trying to cover his ass by the end of the day. It wasn't about sincere apologies. It was more about, here are my credentials. Don't talk shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, that's the thing is, you know, these apologies about the things that you post in your past and everything. Two things. It would be more sincere had you not gotten caught and you just apologized. Because that's the thing that always gets me is when you see somebody jumping out in front of one of these issues, something like this reckoning, if you will. Like I said, he was one of the people who jumped out in front and was very vocal about his support.
Right.
That was his opportunity to go, by the way, my past is not good either. Mm-hmm. And I've learned from those things, but I would be a hypocrite if I were to sit here and criticize Adam Rappaport and not reckon with my own past.
Yeah.
These are the things that you guys need to know about me. And I put this out for the world to judge me because I understand that I made these mistakes and they are in my past, but that doesn't change the fact that I said these things in a public forum and I know that they hurt people or they could hurt people if my coworkers saw them and things like that. So you guys need to know that I did this shit. And if you don't want me to be an ally or a leader in this movement, and if you want me to take a back seat and continue to learn from those things, I will. But I give it to the people who are affected by this to decide how my role is, or to decide my role in this movement. But instead, I should have wrote that down for his punk ass. You know what I'm saying? Instead, what he did.
This is recorded, so
yeah, fine. Right. I'll just send him that clip and be like, "Oh, next time, this is what you should have done." I mean, your career's probably over now, but you should have done this. Anyway, instead, what he does is what? Somebody goes scrubbing through his Twitter and his Facebook and his Reddit page, and they find this shitty stuff that he said, and then he has to, like you said, go on this apology tour. So that's issue number one, is I'm done with these fucking, like, I don't really have any more tolerance for these fucking guys like Delaney who are out in front telling people how they need to be, how they should be acting, what kind of changes they need to be making. I stand with this person, I stand with that person, and then turn around and be like, oh, shit, I forgot that I was a piece of shit only 5 years ago. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Whoops. Yeah. I mean, and it's not like it's at least okay, here's the thing. I haven't looked up his actual edgelord content. But from everything it sounds like, I think I have a good understanding of what he was saying, what he was doing, right?
Yeah.
So it's not even that he was just, saying a few off-color jokes here and there. It's like that was kind of the point of his material at the time, was to be controversial and be a dickhead.
That's the very definition of being a fucking edgelord.
Exactly. So I would understand if he was like, I didn't realize the hurtful ass stuff that I said back in the day because I was a different person back. I was a teenager or whatever.
Yeah.
And maybe I can understand he doesn't remember saying something that in today's light is unacceptable. But that was the goal of what he was doing online.
Right.
Like we've said really shitty things online. We've talked about that before.
Yeah. But that we've owned up to those things. That's exactly why I feel comfortable about saying what I'm saying about him, is because we got out in front of that and was like, look, man, we said really shitty things too.
Yeah.
I think we've reckoned with that past before already.
Yeah. And it was something that we directly addressed in the creation of this podcast. Mm-hmm. It's been at the core of this podcast since we started, was to do our best, at least. We probably failed here and there.
Yeah.
But to do our best to not just be hurtful for no reason, and to avoid certain words and certain topics that are, just offensive to people that we can't avoid, that are unnecessary,
Right.
So that's true. And I think as a public persona, no matter your audience, you owe it to them to get in front of those things.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, that's a really good point about him and the entire, like, you know, I'm sorry that I hurt people and stuff, and I don't know. It's like, but the point was to hurt people. You knew what you were doing. And again, it's not, Delaney's not 60. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't
Right.
that long ago. I mean,
it wasn't 1959.
Yeah, the dude was in high school like what, 10 years ago? Little over that. It's not that fucking long ago, dude. And then the other point is the other thing that you were talking about, which is the fact that he spent so much time giving us a rundown of why he deserves to be there. And it's like, look, dude, it's people like me who see him in the background and go, Delaney don't do shit. Why am I important enough for you to have to slice your apology in half and go, you know what? I also need to address this dickhead who thinks I don't deserve to be here. Bro, get out of your feelings. Because right now, it's bigger than you deserving your $60,000, bro. Like, how fucking tone deaf to think that incredible. Like that was the thing that people were concerned with. The people who actually give a shit and the people who were disappointed in Delaney are not the people who are going, he doesn't deserve to be there. He doesn't do anything. Why is Delaney there? The people who were disappointed were people who were already fans who understood what you brought to the table. So why the fuck would you address the fucking neckbeards on Reddit is beyond me.
Yeah.
Insane. I would go so far as to say he didn't need to say any of that ever. I don't think he needs to address that at all. His name is on the checks. He's making the money. He knows what work he put in. Why does he need to go out and tell fucking Reddit why he deserves to be there? That's insane. It speaks for itself. You know what you did to get to where you're at. Why, dude? Like, Jesus. Stupid.
It's not only that, but it just seems like, why are you concerned about that right now?
Yeah. The worst possible time to be trying to get people to understand you deserve your spot. Like,
right.
As the white, like, good-looking editor at this very white magazine in this very white test kitchen with a very
dripping
head
to toe
issue.
Every single day.
Seriously. And this was the time for you to go, you know what? You guys are saying that I didn't do enough, but I did enough. I did more. I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody else, but I did do more than that asshole. I'm just saying. It's like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Please don't.
Unbelievable.
Oh.
So yeah, we're at a point now where about half of the talent is gone. And the ones who are left, I think it's only a matter of time. There's no way that they continue on with who they have.
That's my question is where do we go from here? What can they possibly do? What can they possibly do? Because right now, like you said, the vast majority of who's left are white people.
Mm-hmm.
And the complaint here is that they weren't fair to BIPOC people. And so what do they do? Is it as simple as hiring a bunch of people of color? I don't think it is.
No.
Like
they have to do right by the people who had the original complaints. That's the only way that you get out from under this. I think the black cloud follows them for the rest of the time that this is that they're trying to do these videos, that BA test kitchen is a thing. If you don't do right by the people who had the original complaints, you could create an entire channel of people of color where it's fair treatment and they all get the money that they deserve, but we'll always remember that you did Priya wrong and that you did Sola wrong and that you did Rick wrong and Gabby.
And
like,
I feel
we'll
like
always remember that.
I feel like a lot of people would remember that and actually turn them down in order to stay, on the right side of history in this entire thing too.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like, you know, I'm sure there are tons of talented people out there, but that original crew had a special sauce.
Mm-hmm.
So just replacing them with anyone isn't going to work. It would be interesting to see somebody else's take and get other people's opinions and other people's styles of cooking and all that stuff would be great. But it's like to go from one thing and then jump cut to a year later and you have an entirely different crew. And what's his name? That the editor.
Who?
For Brad.
Oh,
Hunzi. Yeah. He's been very vocal. He got suspended for talking out about it.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't think he's coming back, and he was a huge part of what made that entire channel special too.
Oh, I mean, he is. I mean, there's no it's
alive
without Hunzi.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. What do you get somebody to imitate his editing style? I don't know.
That would suck.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Yeah.
So I mean, for all intents and purposes, in my eyes, it's gone. It's dead. Sorry. Yeah. It's just no more. And I will support all these people who maybe start their own channels or maybe join their own channel together in something. And, you know, I'm interested to see where that goes and, you know, where everybody lands. But, you know, as far as the BA test kitchen that we knew and loved, it's didn't survive the pandemic, unfortunately.
Yeah, no. I mean, like I said, the only thing that they can do is do right by who they wronged. And at this point, the contract negotiations have broken down. They've left. I don't see any signs of them coming back. And, you know, the ultimate heartbreaker is that, you know, it's not going to come back because of BA's statement on the whole thing. They're like, we tried, we negotiated, and they didn't like the terms. And it's like, man, it just doesn't look good.
Did you?
Yeah.
Or did you?
I mean, I would really love to know the terms that 6 people were like, nah, that ain't good enough.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't. Yep. And also, you know, Condé Nast is some big corporation, so fuck them. Just fuck them. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's just, you know, another ray of sunshine stolen from us.
Yeah.
Now we just have to continue dealing with the pandemic.
Well, speaking of giant shitty corporations,
yeah.
Where do we even start with this? Apple now is
Apple
the
being
oppressor?
Apple being now.
Thought we were all about peace and love, man.
Yeah, I mean, at least in their commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apple died with Steve Jobs.
Yeah, the charm of it anyway. I don't think Steve Jobs would spit on you if you were on fire, bro.
Don't say that about Steve Jobs.
I'm just saying, I don't think any of these people really give a fuck.
No, I've read his biography. He's kind of a shithead.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he's not here to defend himself, so.
He's not.
He's not here like a Weekend at Herman Cain's Twitter account.
Yes.
What is going on with that, man? Well, who in his estate was like, you know what? I'm going to just keep this Twitter page alive. I know what Herman would say in this moment.
I still disapprove of Joe Biden.
Oh, man, dude. Yeah, I don't even want to go into any of the politics stuff. It's just been a wild couple of days. Couple of days, man. I had to I'll say one political thing before we get to the Apple thing. Do you follow Sean King?
No.
I had to unfollow him, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I still see some of his tweets come across my Twitter, but
it's just become too much. Jeez, a little dry from all that BA talk. Yeah, I had to follow. I had to finally unfollow him. You know, sometimes I'll follow some pages just to stay abreast of everything that's going on. You know, there's a lot of people who, I mean, Donald Trump has, I don't know, millions of Twitter followers. A lot of them are just there because they want to keep up with the fact that, like, the president uses Twitter as his main form of communication. So it's just, you're just doing your due diligence by following him.
Presidential harassment.
But by the way, I don't know if I've ever talked about this on the podcast, but there are 3 pages that you can follow that you still get your presidential information. They are unfollow Donald Trump. Hold on, I'll give you the @ right now so that you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's literally unfollow. It's @unfollow Trump and @unfollow VP and @unfollow White House. So you literally, because you know it's that little shot, that little rib shot, bang, right to the president, because you know that his ego comes down to how many supporters he has and how popular he is and how big his Twitter account is and all that stuff. So if you can take just a little bit from him, just a little bit, you're doing your part. So instead of following the president of the United States, unfollow Trump, and you can get all of his tweets without giving him the support. There you go.
Okay.
But yeah, I had to unfollow Sean King because he's a fucking. You just do more and more research about the guy, and you just like, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
There's something off about the dude. And you saw the post that was going viral about him with the his 2 tweets right next to each other, where in the beginning of the primaries, he was like, I can tell you 99% 2 people that I will not be supporting: Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. And then the next tweet is like, well, that's it. History has been made. You know, Kamala Harris, she's a graduate of an HBCU. You know, it's historic that a black woman is on the ticket, blah, blah, blah. Super supportive. And then people just put them together. And it's like, you're a hypocrite.
I don't care how much your political allegiances align with mine. Like, if you are a hypocrite and it's easy to see that and just a blowhard, I don't like you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't like you.
Yeah, just be consistent across the board, man. He's a big Bernie guy. And, you know, there's a lot of big Bernie guys. I mean, you're a big Bernie guy. You're a big Bernie guy.
Big old Bernie guy.
Big old Bernie guy. So be that. There's nothing wrong with that. You can say, you know, I would have loved for Bernie to have, you know, won the nomination, and I'm disappointed that it's not him, but I still support the Democratic Party. Or you can say that, you know, now that my guy's not in, I'm sorry, I can't participate in the political process right now because I don't believe that Joe Biden is the right choice. And I really don't believe that Donald Trump is the right choice. And I can't participate. Now, I'm not saying that that's the right answer, but I'm saying that that is the truthful answer.
Right.
That's you being true to yourself. So don't turn around and act like you're this huge supporter of Kamala Harris, Joe Biden. And then the reason I unfollowed him was because I saw another tweet where he was like, he was retweeting some right-wing propaganda page. And then his caption was, oh man, I miss Bernie. And it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's just, you know what? Let me not.
Okay.
Let's not do it.
We're getting in there. We're getting in there.
And we're gonna get all fired up, and then this is gonna become fucking Air America or some political, and we just don't want to do that.
I was about to break out another beer.
Yeah, right. I mean,
get me going.
The crack.
We can talk about Kamala Harris.
Let's talk about Apple. Let's talk about Apple.
Fair.
So we were gonna talk about Apple and how they handled Microsoft's streaming service. What's it? xPlay?
xCloud.
xCloud.
Yeah.
But we didn't feel comfortable talking about it because we didn't have enough information at the time of recording. So we were like, let's drop it. We just we don't want to talk out of our asses on this thing per usual. But I mean, Apple just keep putting their foot on the neck of the little guy if you will. It's kind of hard to, you got one corporation arguing with the other corporation, so it's kind of hard for anybody to be the little guy in this situation.
Yeah.
But I think most companies are the little guy when stacked up against Apple, no matter how big you are, unless you're Disney.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point, yeah.
So it's been this thing with Apple for years now where they're very tight about their ecosystem, about what works, what products what companies they're willing to work with, and where the money goes. Mm-hmm. And for them, they want that money going right into their pocket. There's no subsidies. There's no helping out the consumer. It's like, look, this is how much it costs. Take it or leave it, because where else are you going to get it? Put that shit in my hand.
In my hand.
And so the latest has been Epic Games, they've expanded the Fortnite empire to now be on mobile devices. And so they have their own virtual currency in the game. I forgot what it's called because I haven't picked up that game in. I mean, it has to be like a year and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, only when the game exploded, we all jumped on it for a little bit. I played it for, like a month or so. And then I was just like, I'll never be as good as the kids who are good at this game. I won't even be – there's battle royale games that you can be decent at and kind of luck your way into a win, right? You can kind of just roll into one. Not with Fortnite. I won once. And, I mean, it was – you could tell that it was a bunch of doorknob humpers in the entire fucking server. It wasn't just me. I was just smart enough to outsmart all of the other dumb guys in the server, and that was it. Otherwise, dude,
is the doorknob humpers a ska band?
It could be. And it would be like an ironic title, and they would never wear shirts or shoes.
Yeah.
There would be the bassist who has blonde dreads that go down to his ass. And you're just like, I could tell that you smell. I could
smell really bad.
I could see it on the TV. You smell, dude. So anyway, Fortnite is now on mobile, and they have their own virtual currency, and you pay for the Game Pass and cosmetics, because nothing affects the game itself. You just pay for a bunch of different cosmetic shit.
But we should mention, because it's so focused on kids playing the game, like it's insane how many kids are obsessed with Fortnite.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Because of that, there's become this cultural thing with kids playing Fortnite that if they don't have the cooler skins, they don't have all the dances, they're like kind of outcast.
Yeah, it's this new form of like
bullying.
You click up with these. I was looking at something, I can't remember what it was, but somebody was kind of like talking about Fortnite and like the skins, dude. I stopped when they introduced the John Wick skin, and I thought that was the dopest thing they did come out with. To have basically a fucking assassin in the game running around. Yeah. And then they turned around and they were like, it's not John Wick. It's not even based on John Wick. And then they put John Wick in the actual game, and it's like he looks just like Keanu Reeves because he's modeled after Keanu Reeves. And it's like, how confusing is this?
Right.
That's neither here nor there. But it's kind of indicative of what you're saying, which is like there's like this class warfare going on within Fortnite. Yeah. So they're advertising to these kids like you gotta have the new skins, and not just the new skins, but you gotta have the right skins. You can't have like my point 2 seconds ago was like
that sounds like America.
Yeah, I mean, all of this is just a metaphor for what's going on right now. You have to have the right skins.
You gotta have the right skins.
Right skins.
And you know what? Enough money too.
Yeah, even if you got the right skins, we need that dinero.
Need the money too.
So like they introduced a bunch of football skins, soccer skins, and if you had one of those, you were apparently a tryhard. I don't know how that happens, But there was like this lack of respect for people who had a football skin. And then the John Wick skin became like old news. So if you still had that, you were a fucking scrub. And, you know, I can't keep up now. I don't know what they have going on now, but it's just really funny that like the community, which always happens in these games, you know, you build an entire community around this thing and you get like these belief systems and these cliques and, you know, it's just really, so yeah, to your point, it's like they're advertising to kids that you need this shit. And so Epic Games was like, here's what we'll do. We'll throw you guys a deal. Instead of going through Apple, if you go through us directly, we'll give you $3 off the purchase. So if you buy it through Apple, you're spending $10.99 or $9.99 or whatever. But if you go through us, it's $7.99 or $7.99, right? And Apple was like, no. We want that $2. You're gonna give us that $2, and if not, you're fucking done. And apparently, this was done by Epic Games purposefully.
On purpose, yeah.
They were provoking Apple. They were kind of like poking the bear. Like, what are you gonna do about it? And if you do something about it, you look anti-consumer,
right?
Which is interesting ploy, because I don't think Apple ever cared about looking anti-consumer. Their products are sometimes 3 times more than comparable devices. I don't think it was ever a thing where they were like, you know, their advertising and their whole brand is not based around consumer friendly. It's
it used consumer, to be, though.
I mean, a long time ago.
But the thing is, a lot of people still associate them with being like the consumer-friendly option, like that they care about usability and like it's not the everyman, because they definitely have gone like, you know, not high tech, but like you have to be like it's a symbol of your wealth that you can get the newest, best iPhone every single time, and the best iPad and the MacBook Pro and all that stuff. So it's become a thing. It's almost become the thing that they have tried to avoid being in the past, which is this highfalutin, like, exclusive thing. The original outset of Mac was the computer for everyone. And you don't have to be this programmer to have a computer anymore, and you don't have to like be a nerd to play with a PC.
Yeah, we do all the work for you, so you can just enjoy the product.
It's easy. It's for the consumer. We make it people friendly. That was the idea. But I mean, nowadays you're right. It does seem more of like you have this as a status symbol. You get that green text and you go, lose my number.
Yeah. Swipe left. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's regardless of their intent, they are now a status symbol. So I think Epic Games playing into that and going, they don't give a shit about you guys, I think is an interesting tactic, but I think it's all for naught, in my opinion, because I think at this point, you may be right. There was a point in Apple's life where that was their goal. But now, I mean, they're $1 trillion company. They don't give a shit about being pro-consumer. I'm not saying that they don't give a shit about the consumer, about their fan base. They obviously do. That keeps the fucking lights on. But
yeah,
I'm saying the idea of being a pro-consumer company is for the birds at this point. They don't care about that. People are going to buy their products. That's it.
Right.
That's just, I mean, I've talked about this a lot just personally, and maybe I've talked about it on the podcast, but the entire PC versus Mac ad campaign where PC is like, look, you're being overcharged for a product that we're offering you guys. Apple sucks. Why would you buy an Apple product? We can give you the same thing for $400 cheaper. They are robbing you. And Apple's just over there like, yeah, but dude, this shit is slick as fuck, right?
Right.
And most of us were like, yeah, it's slick as fuck. I want that shit. I don't care. And that was it. That was their entire, they never even responded to PC. Have you ever seen a negative Apple campaign? They never go negative. They always go above, and they always say, look, it's their ads are always, your life is amplified by having an Apple product with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That girl that you met, that sunset that you witnessed, that shooting star across the sky, that last moment with your grandparent, all of that is amplified by having an Apple product with you. That's the whole thing.
It's a marketing tactic as old as time. You don't make it about the product. You make it about what you do with it. So it becomes about that person's life. It's not about the device. It's about what you do with it.
And look at what PC did for years. Their entire ad campaign was, fuck Apple, buy our shit. And people responded by going, I'm gonna still buy my Apple stuff. So I don't know how you feel. I don't think that this goes anywhere. I don't think that Apple even feels the bite. I mean, I just don't think it matters in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very pessimistic, so I agree. I'm interested to see if anything does happen, because if something does happen, I mean, I think it'll, in a way, help the consumer. But let's not mince words. Like, Epic Games is a somewhat evil entity for preying on children.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's not like one of these guys.
They are not the innocent bystanders in this.
No, and they're not the heroes of this story either.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can sum it up by a GIF I saw replied to it on Twitter, which is the Godzilla "Let Them Fight."
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about it. Let's see where this show ends, because I'm curious. But yeah, I mean, I don't really think it's. I don't see much happening, but we'll see what happens.
It is interesting because it may not seem interesting to somebody on the onset, but if something does come of this, it could change the way all of this works. Because Microsoft rather is moving into cloud-based gaming, streaming services. I mean, Mixer didn't go over so well, but you know that's not going to be their last foray into streaming services or trying to get streamers. Everybody is going to mobile and buying things digitally and stuff. And Apple right now has a stranglehold on that market, but it's only a matter of time before these other companies start catching up. And Apple I don't think that they can maintain these business practices forever. Once these other companies start catching up, and you start because I mean, now, like with phones, for instance, most people have an iPhone, but if you don't have an iPhone, you have something that is equivalent, and not even just like kind of up there. If you don't have an Apple product, you have a phone that is basically the same fucking thing. The technology is neck and neck. There used to be a point where iPhones weren't just more expensive; they were better phones. They just were. They had a better camera. They were faster. App makers would develop their apps for iOS first and then port them to Android devices. I mean, there was a point where like they were just flat out winning the race. That's not the case anymore. You can get a device that is the equivalent, and that's just the start of it. I think that once these companies start catching up, you know, you're not going to be able to just say, I mean, it's Apple or bust. It's like, it's not, dude. There's other options.
You know, and I think genuinely, I know we were joking before about this, but after Jobs' death, soon thereafter, the entire company was kind of floating on the legacy of Apple and the legacy of them being consumer friendly and being, you know, having great UX design and having that edge on other companies as far as technology goes and being innovators. They don't do that anymore. I haven't seen an innovation from Apple in a very long time.
I mean, other than going full touchscreen, no home button and stuff, and the facial recognition software. But that wasn't, to your point, it's not like this huge leap forward. It was just implementing the things that were right there in their faces to begin with. It was just it was only a matter of time.
Those were good things, but they were pretty incremental changes. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I just really feel like there will be a slow change over time where Apple is no longer seen as the end all be all.
Yeah.
It's an industry standard. It's something that has an OS and an iOS that people rely on and are really comfortable with, which, it because of that ecosystem that people are so comfortable with it's going to keep people there. Mm-hmm. But, the second that there's an alternative that blows it out of the water and can I don't know, can become like a sort of pop culture icon in the way that like the iPhone became over time. I think, what's going to keep people on iOS? I don't know.
Yeah.
Especially if they can do it for cheaper,
Yeah. That's exactly it. It's so, nothing may come of this currently, but I definitely think that this could be a watershed moment if more companies like Microsoft, Epic Games, anybody who's a direct competitor to Apple, if they kind of band together and go, you don't have to go to them, because currently, a company like Microsoft is still, they know that the power kind of, when it comes to mobile gaming, the power is still with Apple. They can say everything that they want to say to try to sell it to their stockholders and things like that, but they wouldn't care so much about not being able to be on iOS if it didn't matter. Same with Epic Games.
It's the install base.
Yeah.
Tons of people have iPhones.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
So it's like you're just losing millions of consumers by thumbing your nose at Apple. So it is important. But for how long at this point, I don't know, man. Maybe if you're Microsoft, you kind of bide your time and go, let's just wait 5 years. Yep. We're going to take the hit now, but we're Microsoft. We'll be all right. And then we'll come back. We'll come back stronger. And we'll come back with better games, better graphics at a cheaper price point. I don't know.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yes, we will, sir. Kind of interesting because, Epic Games, who knew that this thing was going to be what it is? Right?
Fortnite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking wild.
I don't even like the game that much.
It's not that good of a game.
It's not that good.
It's not.
I really don't like the building mechanic mixed with the first person or third person shooter.
No.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
It's this goofy, cartoony looking thing that is, it was a nice it was fun. It was a nice change of pace kind of thing. It was a gimmick. It was very gimmicky. And the game is still gimmicky. They get these cross-brand promotions where they throw the characters in and sometimes admittedly they're fucking, like when they had Thanos in the game, that was fucking dope to just be jumping around, just destroying people as Thanos. That's pretty cool.
Oh, the Travis Scott concert was awesome.
What an insane, but that's what's crazy is somebody at Epic Games is going, it can't just be about the game. The game's not strong enough to be the thing.
Right.
We have to do this other shit, the cross-brand promotion, the concerts, somebody is sitting on Twitter and TikTok and stealing dances from young black kids. Somebody's doing it. And it's like,
it's a living.
They're smart enough to know the game's not strong enough. It's got to be about something bigger than the game.
It's got to be an entire culture. It can't just be the mechanics of the game.
Right.
They're not focusing on it like like a traditional shooter, even like an online shooter. What's the one that you played a lot?
Blackout.
No, the cartoony one.
The one that I played.
Yeah, you talked about it just the last episode. I haven't played it in forever. That's why I'm blanking out. That you say it's like the best community.
Overwatch.
Overwatch, right?
Yeah.
It's not Overwatch.
No.
Overwatch, it's almost the exact opposite. It's so focused on the mechanics and how the game plays, and so much about the game itself.
Yeah.
Whereas it's about none of that. It's about everything around that.
Right.
The window dressing and the events happening within it. It's about all of that stuff and not the actual game mechanics themselves. I'm sure there are like small tweaks on weapons and stuff like that, but that's not the focus.
No. Which is smart. I mean, it's taken this game and pushed it to the next level. But at the same time, I would say that Overwatch is I mean, you know, it sucks that the pandemic is, I mean, kind of it's hit literally every aspect of the entertainment business, and that goes for e-gaming and esports. But Overwatch was just getting started with the league and everything. I mean, they were getting more sponsors, it was getting more popular and things like that. I mean, imagine like Fortnite does these tournaments and stuff, but they don't have a literal league with teams, tournaments, championships. All of this based around a game, one game. They created a sport around one video game. I mean, that's lasting power of I mean, it's just so, so, and that speaks to your point of like their focus is on the game first, the cosmetic stuff second. Fortnite is worried about the cosmetic stuff first, the game second. It's working for both of them. So you can't say one thing is better than the other. It's just really interesting to see where games are going and where something like the potential of something like Fortnite. I mean, they're still making millions of dollars, and you still got super popular streamers still pour hours and hours into that dumb fucking game because they know people are. I mean, you could read it on Ninja's face when he's playing the fucking game. He's just like, this sucks. I mean, he
Counter-Strike.
He would jump to other games and then just jump back to Fortnite because, like, you know, he'd lose his streamer base, and they knew it's like, look, man, I know you want to play Fortnite. I know you want to play Blackout. I know you want to play Warzone, but Fortnite's where it's at. I look at these streamers now who still play the game, and I just know it's like, you can't still be into this game. It's not good enough. There's no way you're still enjoying yourself on this shit. But, you know.
They enjoy the money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's a fun game.
I dye my hair fucking tie-dye like Tekashi 6ix9ine if you're getting paid the kind of money they're getting paid to play that stupid fucking game.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we're just too old for it.
We're definitely too old for it.
Yeah.
I don't have the reflexes for it. I don't have the build. I
never got around to the building mechanics. Maybe I feel like maybe that's how it feels if you didn't grow up with like the twin sticks.
Yeah.
You know, the dual analog sticks.
Yeah, and you're looking at it going, you use your thumbs for both?
Right. How do I
aim
move?
With the thumb?
How do I move?
Yeah.
And they're staring at the ground the entire time.
Yeah. Because you watch some of these kids play. You watch some of them build.
Oh, click, 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 wall.
Yeah, it's
stairs.
I mean, it's all part of it. It's like I was fascinated. My head was blown watching how quickly they do it. That's when I jumped off the game. I was like, no.
Nope, not gonna do it.
I'm never gonna be that good. I'm done. I'm done with this.
Same. Fortnite is the TikTok of games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the only way to describe it. And I think that's the best. That's good getting out of here point.
I think so.
Yeah. So before we get the fuck out of here, we got to review these beers. So Obi, please tell the people what you were drinking and how you felt about it.
This was the Sideward Brewing semi-dry hard apple cider with a strawberry. A variation of their normal cider, which I also love. Boy howdy,
Boy, howdy.
my friends, a Stone Cold classic is born.
Oh, wow.
With this cider. It, in my opinion, though it's close, is better than the original cider. I love it. It's not overly sweet. It has a little bit of tartness and just a touch of sour with the strawberry, and has that kind of crisp, like champagne dryness. Delicious. I love it. Highly recommend it. I'm going to give this a strong 5.
All right.
Very, very strong 5.
Very strong 5 for Sideward's Cider Strawberry Edition.
Good job.
I was drinking the New Belgian Voodoo Ranger 1985 IPA, another in their long-running Voodoo Ranger series. This one's actually a limited edition. I forgot to mention that at the top of the show. Made with mango and spice. I think it's 6.7 ABV. Yeah, 6.7. It's really good.
Nice.
It's a subtle difference. You know, it's a subtle little addition to it, the mango and the spice, but I don't know what the spice is. They don't elaborate, but it works. I mean, the first sip, I was like, it's flavorful. You know, you get the IPA mouthfeel, the bitterness, the hops, and then you get an interesting flavor with it. I'm gonna give it 4.5. That was good. It was like, I was surprised that it was. I mean, we said that they're pretty consistent with these.
Yeah.
But you know, they keep coming up with like little changes that justify continuing to push Mr. Skeleton Man in front of our faces. So good for them.
Yeah.
4.5.
Nice. I think we've had another mango spiced beer in the past that we didn't like as much.
We'd have to go back to the archives, but I think you're right.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. So, but cool.
Yeah. So a 5 for Sideward Brewing, a 4.5 for the New Belgian Voodoo Ranger. I think we got it. Obi, how do you feel? You think we got it?
You know what? No. This is a 5.5. Because I just did the math in my head, and the normal cider is a 5. I like it that much. That one edges it out. It's a 5.5.
All right.
That's my last word.
I full on respect it. I love it, in fact. So 5.5, a near perfect beer from Sideward Brewing Company. Now we got it?
I think we got it.
Well, this has been the One Baron Podcast for myself, Marco Dupa, for Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Hey, girl.
Thank you guys for listening. Drink delicious beer. Like, share, and subscribe everywhere the podcasts are listened to, and on the YouTube page. And have a beautiful evening.
We love you.